My husband, the late Governor Degamo, before he was murdered, by the way, we will be remembering his 3rd death anniversary tomorrow. That's March 4. He received threats before he was tragically murdered. The threats at first were conditional. Like, if you do this, something will happen. But then, even though they were conditional, the fear and intimidation they caused were very real. Conditional threats can turn into actual harm. Nangyari po yun sa amin. In the same way, when the VP reportedly made statements implying harm to the President, the First Lady, and the former Speaker, those statements are serious, even if phrased as conditional. Kasi words from someone in her position carry weight. It can intimidate other officials, it can influence decision, and even undermine public trust. That is why, in impeachment terms, such conditional threats are considered sufficient in substance. It's not just the wording that matters. It's the effect and potential for harm, especially when the speaker holds high office. Just as in my family's experience, conditional threats really must be taken seriously. Gusto ko lang pong idagdag. The legal connection there talks about a threat does not have to be absolute or immediate to be serious. What matters is its potential impact, especially if the speaker holds power. Conditional threats can intimidate or coerce. Even a statement that starts with "if" can pressure officials or institutions to act a certain way. And high office makes it more serious. Maybe words from ordinary people may be limited in effect, but threats from a person who is holding a national leadership post carry far-reaching consequences. Kaya nga po, public office demands higher standards of behavior. Yun yung nire-require sa atin. Dahil if wrongly handled, and I must admit, my husband must have wrongly handled the situation back then that resulted now to his 3rd year anniversary, still waiting for justice to be served. Yan lang po, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Degamo.